Hello and welcome to What a Difference a Day Makes. I am watching a video of myself cleaning the car basically, and I thought one of the good places to start with doing this sort of channel is just explain how I'm going through what I'm going through to make the car shiny. So the first thing I'm doing is Auto Finesse Citrus. It's fantastic stuff. 99% of what I'm going to use here is all Auto Finesse gear. I put the citrus all over the front and all over the wing mirrors and behind the front wheels and behind the rear wheels, just to give everything that I'm doing just that little bit of extra boost when it comes to cleaning power. The snow foam that I am using isn't Auto Finesse. I've been through 3 bottles of the Auto Finesse Avalanche, and to be honest with you, it's just not quite as good as the Auto Glim Polar Blast, which is my favourite one. I'm going to try a couple of others. I'm going to try the Built Hammer one day because it's supposed to be very nice. The one thing I would advise when it comes to doing this stuff with the snow foam is use boiling water. Make yourself a cup of tea while you're doing all of this, and then by the time you've made the cup of tea, allow the kettle to just go off boil, so it's just quite hot. Fill up the bottle, 1.5 inches of snow foam gel at the top, and hot water really makes it foam up beautifully. What I'm doing here is cleaning the inside the wheel arches. It's something I always forget, but obviously the rain has been coming down quite a lot recently, and when I looked up inside, it's quite dodgy. The front ones are plastic, the rear ones are carpet to keep the road noise down, and getting those clean is not easy, but we will find a way. Jet wash, cleaning off, literally going over myself half to make sure I've done everything. The car's pretty clean anyway, but just blow everything off that you possibly can. Be very methodical about it. I tend to take ages doing the initial jet afterwards, because the cleaner you can get it now, the less contact you have to do later on, which stops swirls. And I have spent a fortune, well, I haven't because it was a birthday present, but I have spent an awful lot of time getting rid of the hideous swirls that are on this car, because it used to belong to one of the salesmen at Imperial Car Sales, and every time they needed it washed, they just gave it to a man with a scrubbing brush and a Brillo pad and just ruined it. But I got there in the end, and I'm very grateful to the people that bought me my polishing machine for my birthday, because I love it and I use it an awful lot. Start at the top, work your way down. Didn't really clean the glass very much. I tend to do the glass afterwards with a proper glass cleaner. I just sort of get the cursory nonsense off and then go back afterwards and make it look really, really nice. Beading here isn't fantastic, but the whole car recently had a coat of poor boy sealant all over it, which I wish I'd done with the polisher on a very slow speed, but I didn't. This is a Z-Tech S. It's supposed to have chrome all over it, but again, I took all the chrome off and put vinyl all over it, which is carbon fibre vinyl. It's 90% there. There are a few bits that I'm not particularly happy about. I think tomorrow I might take some time and show you, because I've recorded doing it in a video, and show you some of the khaki bits that didn't really go as well as I would like, and see if any of you can shed some light on some of the bits that I need to change. This is a Meguiar's lamb's wool wash mitt with as much hot water as I can fill in a bucket, topped up with cold out of the jet washer and a nice big squirt of Auto Finesse lather. Auto Finesse lather I am absolutely over the moon with. It's just fantastic stuff. I've tried Auto Glim before that, which was okay. I've tried the demon wheel stuff that they give you, and that's no good at all. I've tried a few. The Auto Finesse one just makes me very happy. It gets everything a lot cleaner than everything before. Whether that means it's because I prepped the car to a point now where virtually anything would make it tidy, quite possibly. However, of all the ones I've tried, just go out and give it a go. It smells nice, it works really well. But what I've started doing is not putting any in. Put all the hot water in the bucket with the grit guard at the bottom. Then put the wash mitt in there, cover the wash mitt in the suds as well. Then when I want to fill it up so I've got a bit more actual liquid, put the nozzle of the jet washer in there and use the nozzle of the jet washer to really foam up the water. it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but it makes a massive amount of difference at the same time. It's one of those little things that goes a long way. I've also got, slightly out of shot here, which makes me an idiot, but that's not the end of the world, a big green bucket full of cold, clean water. 2-bucket method, which, you know, if you spent an awful lot of time getting your swells out, is important. So as you can see, I'm doing virtually no pressure at all. I'm not digging into the paint whatsoever. I'm literally just holding it so one is on the other. There you go. You can see my green wash bucket now. So only enough pressure just to make sure that you're actually applying all of the surface area of the wash mitt to all of the surface area of the paint. And just go round methodically, as slowly as you can. There are stripes on the bonnet to avoid swells, no circle patterns. The only thing that I haven't polished on this is the front bumper, because I am mildly scared of it. But at some point I'm going to have to do it. I might actually chat to a friend of mine who has a ramp and see if I can put it up on the ramp so I can do it stood up rather than laying on the floor, because laying on the floor, I'm old, I'm 45, I don't need to be laying on the floor. Yes, for anyone asking, I am wearing a Garfield jumper. It's my favourite jumper in the whole world. Just accept it because I love it. Same thing as before, methodically, slowly, as much as I've speeded this up so it doesn't just take forever, but go over half of all the distances that you have sprayed the car. It comes off better that way. It's exactly the same as like halving your bets when you do the crosshatch pattern when you're doing any polishing or anything like that. Go over 50% of what you've done before and it makes sure that you don't miss any areas. The other thing I will say is that on the boot where I'm doing now is awful, and if you're going to dry the car, you need to dry the car first at the back end, which I haven't done here ironically, but I normally just stick a towel under the bonnet and catch all those drips. This is an Auto Finesse towel. I've got 2 of them. It's some of the best money I've spent so far because I do the whole top half, the glass and the roof with one of them, and then I go and get the other one because it tends to pick up water really quickly. I'm sure I could do the entire car just with that. I think I've washed one of them in the wrong stuff and I need to give it a wash again without any detergent and just not too hot. 30-minute wash. Lovely jubbly, but not put any detergents in there or anything. Here comes the second one. Ta-da! So, keep going. Cross over yourself. Go over the back end over and over and over again. If anyone who's got one of these cars will know that the front door handles drip like mad. The wing mirrors drip like mad. The spoiler on the back where it meets the glass will just drip all the way down and leave horrible white salty marks all over your car. And it doesn't matter how many times you catch them. As soon as you think that you've kind of relaxed into thinking, I've got this, it's all good, lovely jubbly, you're going to come back in an hour and find that they're still there. Just be at peace with it. Go out in an hour's time, clean off all the last little bits, and she'll be nice and shiny. I haven't done the wheels in this. That's just how it is. I don't mind. I will absolutely forgive myself because the wheels are a pig. I hate doing them, and they will get done tomorrow morning. All of this was done at 8:30 on a Saturday morning when I just wanted to get up and do it because that's my favourite thing in the world. It's just to get up and clean the car on a Saturday morning. Who needs a lay-in? I get up at 5:45 anyway for work. I'm used to being up early. I've also just noticed how fat I look. It's not a good sign. It means I'm getting old. So there you go. Finish off the last end. And then towards the end I'm going to have a little word with myself. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and clean the boot lid 10,000 times because it will drip until tomorrow and leave horrible white milky stains all over the back end of my car. And it's too warm now, but I've enjoyed it. What a difference a day makes.